proud. My freshmen needed diapers today. You know, it was one of those days where I knew they were going to get indoctrinated. We knew that we couldn't play. Kyle, he tried to suit up in an emergency, but I wasn't going to do that to him. So, you know, I thought early in the game and at halftime, we just were disappointed in our bigs. You know, we did not think that they did the job. We were supposed to be stepping up on screens, and yet the job that Cassius and I thought McQuaid did, considering we didn't get a lot of help from our inside as far as defensively. Stars didn't beat us the first half, the bench did, and that's a great tribute to Purdue and what they're doing in the development of their bench. And they had a couple guys that, you know, really, Wheeler made, I think, 3 big threes. And not very often do I see Cassius miss 3 free throws, and they just ended up later on being critical. But I thought we got, you know, pretty good play out of McQuaid, and considering he had to go that whole length of time and chase guys, we just don't have the bodies right now. And I thought Xavier came in and played pretty well for us. And if Cassius didn't improve, I mean, I'm loving Edwards, but Cassius today almost put us on his back. I guess both players are very deserving of being up for what they're up for. I would like to say that I saw a list of guys, and McQuaid isn't one of the better defenders in this league. I'm shocked that his name wasn't in that list, but all in all, our bigs got their butts kicked, and give them credit for that.
Do you take solace in the fact that you guys were 23 down, cut it all the way back to 4, or is it just disappointment?
What I take solace in is it's been a rough 5 games, you know, 4 on the road and 3 in this past week, and traveling twice, and the down 2 bodies. That's what I take solace in. We didn't quit. We bounced back. We did some things. We took a chance in fouling Nogel, and give him credit. I think they were down 4 or 5, and he had one hit and bounced up, hit the top of Mackey, and came back down through. And you know, we just went with the numbers. We couldn't chase them. We were worn out, and we just didn't have enough bodies. So because of that, give him credit too that he made the free throws. But I thought we had some decent stops. In the second half, we played it much better. First half, you know, it was them, but we were a joke. We weren't stepping up on the ball screens. We weren't doing the things that we did so well at our place, and we thought it was more effort related, and maybe it was more fatigue related, and maybe it was their crowd, and they had a little more hip in their hop. So all in all, it was a, you know, hell of a game, better game for the home team, but we did bounce back and show that we can, there was no quit in us. We just didn't have enough guys that played good, and with those freshmen right now, it was a little bit of deer in the headlights for them, and yet that'll be a great experience for them. That'll be a great learning experience.
Tom, you mentioned the fatigue factor. How much of that do you think was from this week, and how much was from this full stretch of the months of having about 6 games on the road?
Yeah, it was tough. You know, I mean, it was tough because of the injuries. If we didn't have the injuries, I think you do it, just like a lot of other teams will do it. But we're kind of running out of wing guys right now, you know, and those guys, I mean, they run that's the best cutting screening team in college basketball. I mean, I don't care who it is, and we played them all. And there's not another team that cuts and screens like that team does. And then when Wheeler comes in and hits a couple, you know, you expect, I mean, we did a pretty good job. I don't know, you know, I tell Matt, you got to get, Gene Katie would be upset if we changed our NCAA things. I'm going to call Katie and tell him Matt didn't, so he'll be mad at Matt, because most human beings can't read these, even guys with bad eyes like me. But I think Edwards was, 4 for 19, and Klein was 6 for 14. I mean, that's 10 for 33, even in UP math, and that's good enough to win. And what wasn't good enough to win is the offensive rebounds, the way they punished us inside, and that was disappointing. So I'm hoping it was more fatigue. But I don't know, you can be that fatigued when the game starts, you know. At the end, Cassius got stronger. some other guys that didn't, and that was disappointing.
Tom, and what are some of the ways that Purdue has evolved or changed since the last time you saw them?
Well, you know, other guys make shots because, in all honesty, Carson, who I think is one of the great players in America, to be honest with you, I mean, he didn't have such a great shooting night here, and he didn't have one at our place, but Wheeler didn't make anything at, before, and, Eford pops out and hits one, and number 2, Hunter hits a 3. I mean, it's not his forte, and the place was going crazy, so that was all good for them. But I thought the offensive rebounding, what did they out-rebound us by? 9. And offensive boards.
16 offensive.
That's the difference in the game. So our ineptness on the boards was probably the difference in the game.
Tom, you got 5 days here that I'm sure you want and need, other than getting healthy.
Yeah, see, that's the problem. We do have 5 days now, but, I probably should rest them, but I've been giving them some rest. And I might rest Cassius and McQuaid. I ain't resting those bigs. They're going to be in for a hell of a week.
What do you want to address in terms of what you guys are doing or what you can improve schematically or offensive or defensive or whatever it might be?
Yeah, we didn't look very good offensively, but when Nick's not posting and, like I said, the freshmen, we need some work offensively with those freshmen. And Purdue's hard to play against. I mean, that was the most physical game we've been in, I thought too physical. I thought Cassius was getting beat up a little bit. But then again, I like that brand. I just wish we had a few more horses to play it too. We could have had a nice 1st and 10 down there. It would have been great, but we didn't do that. They took it to us. We didn't take it to them. I give all the credit to Purdue. I mean, from the crowd to their bigs. I mean, I think Williams has helped them some, but this was a game that their 7-3 monster. He played pretty well too. He kept slipping those screens, and we weren't getting up early enough, and we did some things that weren't characteristic of how we play, but they're a very, very, very good basketball team, and I definitely think one of the 2-3 best in our league.
Coach, when you guys made that run, was Cassius pretty much running up pure adrenaline right there towards the end?
That's what I like about Cassius now compared to his freshman year. He actually got stronger as the game went on, and he had a lot on his shoulders. We just couldn't get the ball in. They did a good job. They rotated their guys better than we did. I don't know what the numbers ended up, but I thought Matt did a hell of a job with the rotation of his players. And we couldn't take Cash out. It was just one of those things that he did a pretty good job hanging in there, but we didn't get our break going as good. There were some things we didn't do, but if you don't rebound, you don't get your break going. If they get 16 offensive rebounds, that's a joke. I mean, we're the best rebounding team in the league, one of the best rebounding teams in the country. And I was disappointed in our performance inside.
Tom, you going off that, obviously you said you were disappointed with your bigs in the first half. Was it just an intensity thing, or was it a schematic thing, or kind of what did you see there?
Both. We're supposed to be up on those curls and that. We weren't up, and that's why we were coming north when they were going south. They were slipping them, and we had harped on that. We did such a great job the first game. I don't know. I was, again, I give them credit. I mean, it's hard. If there's a harder cutter than Edwards coming off those things, and he can turn it at a dime, and Klein isn't so bad either. And so you have to be attached. And our freshmen weren't attached on Klein some, but our bigs have to be up there. We can't. They said too many picks. Guards are going to be off a little bit, and they're a very good screening team. So I just thought our bigs didn't. We had a couple guys that really struggled in that. I thought it was both effort and schematic, or I don't know. That's too big a word for me. I mean, they screwed up.
Take a couple more, Chris and Graham.
At Iowa on Thursday, guys were talking about the Northwestern game last year. Was there a feeling of that, and on Thursday of coming back, of just how resilient this team is? Was there talk about that?
Yeah, we talked about it in the huddle. When we cut it back to 15, I tried to say, okay, at the 8-minute mark, we got to have it down to 10, and we got to handle this thing. We've been here before, guys. We've had that miraculous comeback against Northwestern. not the same situation, of course. Purdue is, not only a very good team, but the crowd at Northwestern was pro us, and I don't know. I think we had 6 fans there today. I think that's all they let in. So it wasn't pro us, that's for sure. And their fans did a great job too. I think I don't know. I guess Matt and I are the longest standing amigos left in this league as it ever changes. And I came to practice yesterday and shot around and saw Katie Court, and I told the refs today this was like a Katie Heathcote game. The only thing is one people were being physical and the others weren't. That was them. And I called Gene last night and told him I was on his court. He says, yeah, right. So he's, I'm sure he was proud today, and should be. I thought they played with the vigor of the old Purdue games and did a great job.
Tom, this loss is obviously what's most recent, but you're still 9-1 in the first half of the Big Ten, 4-1 on the road. Looking at the body of work as a whole for those 10 games, what have you feel differently about your team now than you did before Big Ten play?
Yeah, I do. I think our execution has been really good. I don't know what we ended up shooting, but it was 60-something the second half. And, we were better. Our fast break's been better than I thought it would be. Our defense has been a lot better than I thought it would be. And just today, and in fairness, as long as I'm grilling my bigs a little bit, just in general, we went from a very deep team to not a very deep team at all. I had to play Kenny had some 3 today, which means we had more guys playing. We just we got to figure out where we're going to go from here, and some of it will depend on when we find out where Josh is and what we find out about Arnie. But that part is not only disappointing, but it's frustrating because I have no real answers. And I'm sure you guys are all calling me, when, and I'm hiding something. Not you guys, some of the national guys, and I'm not hiding nothing. I'd like to tell you he's playing tomorrow, and I'd like to tell you I know what's wrong. And since I can't do either one, I sit there like you do and wonder every day. But we played an incredible schedule. We had a lot of those games on the road. It's been a hell of a 2.5 weeks. And right when those injuries started hitting, and I think my guys have done a hell of a job, but you don't get any, we're halfway. That's the weird part of we're 10 games in, A couple years ago we'd have 6 left and I'd be feeling good about myself. I don't feel very good. And I feel disappointed that I thought effort-related things bother us, but I'm going to look at the film and say, was it our effort, or was it our fatigue, or was it a little bit of both? And I'm probably leaning it was that, because the comeback against a quality team in their arena, we cut it to 4 or 5. 4? Wow. We made a couple of dumb plays, Aaron had one on the wing, Nick had the charge. A couple of bad plays, but to come back like that against a quality team and do it with our defense and our shooting, we'll build on that.
All right.
Anything else? Thanks, guys.